on and working. Once again, I want to welcome you to Transformational Tuesday. My name is Deborah Darris. I'm an inspirational speaker, author, and your host. The first Tuesday of each and every month, I am here to share with you how you can create a more abundant life. And abundance includes money, it includes balance, it includes peace, and it also includes love. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are single and are ready to open their hearts to love. And that's what tonight is all about. We have the amazing, and I really mean it, amazing relationship experts, relationships coaches, certified, all the way from Florida. They are here on our YouTubes, right? And we are so blessed because not only do we have one coach, but we have two. And so I'm going to formally introduce you to them because they are magnificent. So we have Miss Gladys Diaz, I should say Mrs. Gladys Diaz and Michelle Rosa. They are certified dating and relationship coaches, authors, and speakers, co-founders of Heart's Desire International, a company that is committed to transforming the world, heart, and one relationship at a time. Their own experiences of heartbreak, Michelle as a divorced single mom and Gladys as a young widow, and attracting and creating new and extraordinary love has enabled them to relate to women who have experienced heartache and want to experience love again, but are frightened, unsure, and unwilling to settle for a less than extraordinary relationship. Can I get an amen, everybody? Amen. We'd rather be, my dad said, mejor se queda sola que un mala compañía, or mala acompañada, right? They are passionate about working with women and seeing the transformation that takes place when they remove the fears and barriers that have been blocking them from having loving, fulfilling relationships so they are able to attract, create, and nurture the relationships they truly desire. And that reminds me of the Paulo Coelho quote, right? It's not about finding love, but about removing the barriers to love. Welcome!
Thank you.
That's beautiful, Michelle. Did you see Michelle?
Hello. Hi.
That's Michelle Rosa. And then we also have
Gladys Diaz. Hello.
Hello, Gladys.
Hi, honey.
And I met Gladys and I just fell in love with her. She was just so amazing, her energy inside out. I said, I know that one day, remember, as soon as we met, like 10 minutes later, I said, we're going to work together. I don't know how, I don't know when. And when people have a consciousness that is so sincerely about serving the world, you don't have to go out and find business. You are naturally connected with the people that resonate with you, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're together. And I personally have been working with their program about opening their heart to love. I was married with my husband for over 11 years, and coming out and being single in the age of social media, it was a rude awakening. And, you know, I read many books and tried many courses, but I really, really resonated with the Heart's Desire International work because it really hit the core and got instant results. So tonight we are going to allow them to share with us the answers to your questions so that you can be able to be open to love again. And we do have a hashtag for tonight. It is ready to, the number 2, love, and then also hashtag Transformational Tuesday. And we're going to be retweeting everything. You can look us up, and you can find them also on their website at Heart's Desire. Oops, I knocked something over. intl.com. Heart's Desire, intl.com. And if we don't get to your question during this session, they have lovingly offered to create blogs throughout February, the month of love, to answer your questions. So just know your questions are going to get answered. So who would like to start on the first step in mending after a wounded, broken heart? I know so many people that have been brokenhearted that don't even want to get into the game of love.
Absolutely. It's a real thing, right? It's the women that we speak to, they're all over the world, and a lot of times when you're going through heartache, you feel like you're the only one who knows what that's like. You feel like it's so individual, and it is. It's your story, it's your journey, it's your pain. But what we've found as we've spoken to women in all of the corners of the world, all ages, been married, never been married, widowed, it doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is that their deepest heart's desire is to be able to love again. And then there's these blocks, these hidden barriers that stop them from moving forward. And that's what we work with women on. We work on identifying what are the things that are stopping you. And usually the first thing is fear, because when we speak to entrepreneurial women, we say sometimes we're more willing to lose thousands of dollars in a bad investment than we are to risk having a broken heart again. I mean, the risk feels so high, and that fear of experiencing heartache actually keeps us from opening our hearts to love again. So even if we're saying that we want to experience love again, the fear is so great that it actually creates a barrier. It actually creates like a almost like a chain link around your heart. And even if it's a great person, I mean, he's the perfect guy, some form of self-sabotage will occur because the fear is bigger than sometimes than the faith.
Mm. Yes. I know definitely for me that fear has been a factor when it comes to opening up. And so I know that so many times that people feel like, they won't survive after, it's like the depression that can set in when you really think that the person that you thought was the one wasn't. It really creates this separation. And I always say, like, your ego is not your amigo, it's your enemigo. That's my favorite thing to say. But how do you shift and release this toxic energy of fear? I don't know if you want to answer this, Michelle.
It really is a very, I won't say hard, but it does take courage to do that. No one wants to experience a broken heart once, let alone risk having it broken again. So in order to be able to move past the fear, you first have to be able to admit that you're afraid. Okay, and then one of the things that we do to work with our clients is we start to train our clients on understanding that the fear, although it feels very real, the experience is very real, and nobody's going to deny that. The fear of being hurt again, it's not a predictor that you will be hurt again. So you have to be willing to recognize that fear as a fear that you created, and that fear, based on something that happened in the past, is now impacting you in the present, and is impacting your future. So then providing women with the tools to be able to break those fears down, recognize them as fears, work through them. And one of the things that Gladys and I have found in the work that we've done, the first layer of fear is usually the one you already know about. And then as you keep digging under the layers, you will get to the ultimate fear. And once you get there and you can actually powerfully deal with that, then you are well on your way to being able to take the next step in being ready to love again.
Fear may have nothing to do with that person at all. Could be a childhood wound or just some limiting belief that you picked up along the way, but that person triggered it in you to be healed. Is that right?
Yes, it may have something to do with that one relationship. What we have found is a lot of times, by the time you get to that one relationship, there have been other things that have happened, and there are underlying fears that have been impacting along the way. So yes, we deal with clients who it's something that had to do with the relationship that they had with their father or their mother, or something that happened when they were very young that never got fully resolved, or that they weren't even aware of. And that's where the magic happens, because there are things that we're not even aware of that with the right coaching in a safe space, you're able to get to that core fear. And then from there, again, build the courage and of course the skills, have the right tools so you can go out there and attract the man or men. You're going to have many to pick from when you get results from that. that's going to be the one that's right for you, and that's going to be the one that you feel you're best with.
And I love that you said that. You know, today I was talking to the Sprint representative because there was an issue with my customer service. And he said something to me that was like exactly what you said that I thought was so profound. He said, don't react from your past experiences in this current relationship. Be present for what's working now. I'm like, oh my God. You know, I think that everybody is an angel and everybody is like speaking the messages of God. And I'm like, oh my God, that is such an important message, because how many of us, when we're dating, we project issues that were unresolved from other relationships and create sabotage in that current relationship where it doesn't need to be there. I know I have.
Yes. Yeah,
And that's the
that's very
fear.
common.
That is the fear.
Trouble hearing the last part. Yeah, absolutely. And I refer to it as residue. There's what happened in the past that created the fear. And when we're talking about fear, sometimes we've had clients argue with us. It's not a fear. I'm not afraid, right? And then the anger, you know, underneath that anger, there's a whole lot of fear going on. But when we're talking about fear, just so that the people who are watching and listening can understand, it was associated with some type of disappointment. There was something that happened that caused you to either question someone that you trusted, question yourself and your self-worth. That we find that a lot. Something happened, and whatever it was that happened, you created a belief. So there's the fears and there's the limiting beliefs about yourself or about what was possible. You know, let me just share one of my big fears really quickly. Our father passed away when we were 3. And then our grandfather became like, you know, the man in our life, and he passed away when we were in our early tweens. And then my mom got divorced from my stepfather, and then due to challenges that she had with addiction, she lost custody of us when we were 15.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I was 27, my late husband, he passed away in my arms. The story or the fear that got created in me that felt 100% real to me, Deborah, was that if I was going to if I loved somebody 100% with 100% of my heart, they were going to die or they were going to leave me. I believed that. And I wasn't aware of it until I worked with a coach, right? That's why we believe so strongly in the power of coaching. But I believed that if I ever loved anybody, so imagine how that was impacting my new marriage, my love towards my children. If I gave them 100%, they were going to die or leave me. So I went through life holding back that 5%. Even in a loving relationship, even, you know, I found love again. I attracted my husband into my life, and I've got these beautiful children. And it wasn't until I saw that my fear was that if I loved somebody, they were going to die or leave me, that was my breakthrough moment. Because in that moment, once I saw the fear, because it was back here, I didn't even know it was there. Once I saw it up here and I call it shining the spotlight on it, then I knew that I had a choice to either continue withholding love or give 100% of my love. And in that moment, I chose that whoever I chose to love from that moment forward was going to get 100% of me, even if it meant that they would maybe leave me or die. And it was such a profound moment. But until I knew that the fear was there, I couldn't do anything with it. Because for me, that was just the way life was. And that's what happens to us with our own fears. Somebody broke your heart. Somebody broke a promise. You found out that somebody wasn't who they said they were. And all of a sudden, that becomes how life is. And we go through life from that fear, not knowing that it's there.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. That I think that really, really helps that people can hear your real life experience. And I know in doing your program, I'm doing their program right now. What I love about it is that I'm taking practical steps that are getting me so out of my comfort zone, like really uncomfortable. It's right away. Because our inner world creates our outer world, it becomes so evident and obvious that it's not that there's a lack of available men out there or a lack of available men in any region that we're in. It's really that there's something in us that's wounded, not that there's anything wrong with us, but there's something in us that's being called to be healed. And that when we do the inner work of healing it, we become more receptive to love. Is that right? Because I know a lot of very educated professional women that are just like, I don't want to take another course on love. They should just find me. You know what I mean? Or just kind of like angry a little bit about, all the work that we as women do, and maybe men don't do any work about relationships, and why do we have to do all these courses, So can you explain the phenomenon and how that works when we do the inner work, that the results start showing up in our lives?
Sure. What Gladys was just sharing, which every time she shares that, I get it newly for myself, how powerful her breakthrough moment was, and how she got that breakthrough was through coaching. She had a coach, and the coach was coaching her through that experience, and it was for Gladys, and I don't know if you want to say anything more about that, Gladys, it was very confusing how she could be so in love and still have the experience of holding back, especially as coaching helps you to peel back layers. So as you start peeling back the layers, you may experience it, you feel confused, like, how could this be happening? So what you were saying about, we hear this a lot. It's like, why do I have to take another course? And yeah, underneath the bitterness is just probably confusion at how do I create these amazing, I know it was like that for me. How do I create these amazing results with my children, with my job, in all these other areas, but in this one area, I cannot produce the results that I want. And I'm pretty sure people at home are nodding their heads, because we see this probably more than anything else. And what I would say about that is, in addition to fears, so that's one of the layers, then there are also layers about limiting beliefs, about men, about relationships, about yourself, that you also may not realize are impacting. So by doing the work, that introspective work, and I know for me, what I know is true for me, is that my path didn't take a new course until I started doing the inner work. I read books, I did seminars, webinars on site. I mean, I had been married for 12 and a half years, almost 13 years, since I was 17. So what the heck did I know about dating? How much do you know about dating when you get married at 17? Nothing. So here I am, just like you, in this world of social media and online dating and texting, and I was like, what is this? And I found over 5 years of unsuccessful dating and what I call micro relationships, which really weren't even relationships, because I realized I was the only one in a relationship, which is a whole other course.
I've been there.
Was that I had a limiting belief that was so, well, let me back up. So I kept dating the same guy over and over again in a different body with a different situation. He looked a little taller, a little shorter. He was from a different country, but it was the same guy. And I was like, what is going on? And it was my own limiting belief. And again, I got it through coaching, that men were liars, cheaters, and they didn't know what they wanted. And that was true for me. Like, my name is Michelle Rosa. Now, it was Michelle Oliva then. So it was that real for me. But I used to say, oh, I want a great relationship with a great guy. I'm committed to having a great relationship. Yet in the background, what was running me was with you liar, you cheater, and man who doesn't know what he wants. And then I couldn't figure it out why I kept attracting men who were that way, because that's what my focus was. Being right about that was in that, like Glass was saying, in that blind spot. So what coaching does and doing the inner work does, when you're willing to have the courage to go where usually you'll stop, and you go there, then you can start to get real about what you need to get real about. And only when you get real about what you need to get real about will any true transformation happen.
And you're so right about having a coach. Myself being a coach, I need a coach. I have a team of coaches, because as self-aware as I am of my conscious mind and somewhat aware of my subconscious programming, there's no way, like Einstein said, we can't solve a problem from the place that it was created. We can't do it ourselves. We need to have somebody that has the perspective, the bigger view, because when we're in it, we can't see it. Like, it wasn't until I was doing the exercises in your book, I was like, oh, there's a pattern, there's a theme, you know what I mean? Up until then, I was like, it's just, what's going on? You know, I don't understand.
Exactly.
Same person, different body. What's going on?
Exactly. And what happens is that we start to believe that this is just how life is.
And
This is
men
what
are.
happens to me, as if life was like, as if it was just happening, without realizing the role that we're playing. And now this isn't about being at fault or guilty or to blame. It's not that. I cannot shift something until I realize what's the role that I was playing, and I own that. I take responsibility for, I've been choosing unavailable men, or I believe that men are cheaters, therefore I'm going to attract as many of them as possible to prove my belief. And it's crazy, right? Because nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to experience heartache time and time again. And I hope we get a little bit of an opportunity to talk about the reality of heartache, that it's not just you're not going crazy and your friends who are telling you, oh, you just get over it. There is real pain associated with heartache. But until you can see what's the role that I've been playing, like you were saying, Deborah, with the patterns, then how in the world can I transform that? I can't do anything with it if I don't see it. And that really, when you see it, sometimes it's painful. I'm sure you've gone through some moments in the program that it's difficult to see what's been going on. But my goodness, the power, the empowerment that you feel when you realize I now have choice. I'm no longer on automatic pilot. I can choose to do this again, because that's always going to be a choice, or I can choose to do something different. And when you have the support to know what that something different is, so that you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks or gives you, the relationship of your dreams, that you actually have the skills, the coaching, and the support, it is transformational. It's not just that you're going to get a great relationship. Your entire life changes, because it's almost like you took off I call it the gray lenses, and you've put on, for me it's purple, that's my favorite color, you've put on the purple lenses, and now you can see what you've always wanted. That you couldn't see that standing behind a wall of fears and doubts and limiting beliefs and negative beliefs about yourself, men, and relationships. You just cannot attract to yourself what you do not believe is.
What talk about the power of choice and empowerment, because when you're not in a relationship and you want to be, there's a part of you that thinks that something's wrong with you. So when you realize it has nothing to do with something being wrong with you, but in identifying the patterns and beliefs and knowing that it can be transmuted, what it does is it gives you more confidence. And when you're more confident, not only does that benefit you in your relationship, but then you're doing great in your career, and then you're able to make more money. So sometimes people think that, I know a lot of people that I've been coaching with, that coach with me, that they're busy professionals. They're very, very successful in their careers and their businesses. And sometimes the time and the energy for relationships hasn't been at the forefront. But then when they come home from that business trip and they shut the door and they're by themselves, they're like, hey, honey, where are you? Where are you?
Exactly. And we actually specialize in working with professional and entrepreneurial women, because there really is a specific set of challenges that we face, simply because we are used to being so independent, so powerful, so self-capacitated, that it takes something to be vulnerable and allow somebody into your life. Because we tell women all the time, you do not need a man to make you happy. We get it. Okay, because some people will be like, I don't need a man. And we're like, I agree, you don't, because if your happiness is not there before you meet him, there's no way you can create it once you meet him. It's not about meeting a man. Is it your heart's desire to share your life with someone?
Yes, I say yes.
Yes, right? And so if you want to share your life, would it not make sense that you have to create space in your life for someone, because people say, well, I'm going to, start dating once I get the next big deal, or I'm going to start dating, even women who are in relationships, but I'll start dating once my business takes off. Once your business takes off, you're going to be just as busy, if not more busy, than you are now. Once your career takes off, you don't want to have to stop your life to have a relationship. You want to have a beautiful, happy, fulfilling life that you can invite somebody to be part of. That a man is going to say, that is a confident, powerful woman, and I am compelled to be in her life. I want to add to that joy. I want to add to that feeling of success. I want to add to that feeling of that she's irresistible, that she's everything. But if you're compartmentally realize that this is my business life and this is my spiritual life and this is my love life, I just want to let you know it's all your life. Everything, the whole package is your life. So if you are seeking to call someone into your life, to draw someone into your life, you're drawing them into all of it, all of you. And trust that once you've done the inner work and once you are ready to love again, who you will attract is a man who is absolutely attracted to you and the life you have. And he just wants to be part of it.
I love it. Every time I hear you talk, both of you, because I have you on my CDs in my car, I just feel hope and inspiration. I have a lot of questions here, so I want to get to some of them. When
Sure.
you said ready to love again, because that's the topic for tonight. So one of the questions we have, in order to be ready to love again, do you have to cut off all ties to exes?
So you want to take that one?
I will tell you from my experience in working with hundreds and hundreds of women, yes. You need to cut off all ties to exes. Here's why. Usually if an ex is hanging around, there's still an emotional connection there. For whatever, and you could argue till the cows come home that we're just friends. All right? I'm not friends have an emotional connection. So when you're still emotionally tied to somebody, it's very especially in a romantic relationship, it is very challenging to give your full self to somebody else. So, if you imagine your desk, right? And you might have a stapler and a tape dispenser, your computer, your calculator, your pen, your pencil, your Sharpies, all that stuff on your desk. And you try to add now this brand new, I don't know, what's the brand new thing? Webcam, right? You try to add this brand new webcam to you're going to have to find a place to put that webcam that doesn't interfere with all the other stuff. But if you clear out all the other stuff and put the other stuff where it belongs, ex-boyfriends belong in the past, then you have the space to enjoy the webcam, to enjoy the full experience of it without feeling cluttered. And that is the best analogy I can use. Gladys uses one of a new leather couch that I can use to ending those relationships. And it doesn't mean that you have to end it in a nasty way. I have an ex-boyfriend that he's still a mutual friend of mine and my husband's, but we see each other maybe once a year at a party of a mutual friend. And he's now married and he has a beautiful baby, and his wife is wonderful, everything else, but I don't hang out with him, I don't talk to him, I don't email him. There's not that connection there. And what I found when I first started dating, when I used to keep holding on to all these ex-boyfriends, it really was just out of fear that I would be alone and I wouldn't find anybody, and it was almost like my safety net.
Backup plan.
That I could keep there. Yep, backup plan, exactly. So that's really the coaching and the when we work with our clients is really, you need to end those relationships. It's just another tie there. And I think it's one of the most challenging things that women go through too, especially if they have one that they thought was the one, to just completely let it go, because they're like, if that was the one and I let go, then what?
Ooh, I have a question. You inspired another question. Hey. Okay, I have a question. I'm sorry, all your other questions, but okay. So
you're the hostess, so you get to ask.
I'm the hostess, so I get to ask my question. Is there one soulmate? Do you believe that there is just the one?
Gladys, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Absolutely. I used to believe that there was just the one, until I lost my husband. Mm-hmm. Because part of my sadness and part of my heartache was love comes only once in a lifetime, and it really, really sucked that mine came and went at 27. And I really did believe, another one of those beliefs that I wasn't aware of for a long time. I really believed, actually, I was aware of this one. I believed with no doubt that I was going to be alone for the rest of my life, that he was my soulmate, and that was it. And what I've learned, I don't always like to admit that I'm wrong, but this is one of those times I was really glad that I was wrong, because what I learned, and I actually shared this with one of my clients today, the only thing that limits our capacity to love is us. We are what limits our capacity to love.
Treatable. The only thing that limits our capacity to love is us.
That's it. The only, and I really thought that I was gonna, maybe I would find someone and I'd be happy enough, right? I'd be happy enough, but I really believed I would not fall in love again. And like I said, thank God that I was wrong, because I fell in love with my husband. It is a different, I tell people, Andy, who was my late husband, he was my first love, and Rick, my current husband, he's the love of my life, because he's the one who's in my life. He is the love of my life. And our hearts have an infinite amount of space and room. I mean, those of us who are moms, we know I wondered, would I be able to love my second child? I mean, I love this first kid so much. How do you love another kid? And then your heart just expands. And so I don't believe that there's just one soulmate. I actually believe there are millions, maybe billions of soulmates, and we get to choose the one we're going to spend our life with.
And you guys, all of you out there, when you start doing the work with Heart's Desire International, you're really going to open up to abundance. Because when I was listening to one of your videos, you're like, you shouldn't date one person, you should date multiple people. Because unless you have a commitment, right? I'm quoting you. Unless you have a commitment, you don't have a commitment. And I was like, that was such an eye-opening thing. So I'd love for you to talk about what you talked about in that video of, where are all the good men at?
Absolutely. The good news is they're everywhere. and if you're that hasn't been your experience, let's talk, right? Because we've got to remove whatever that is, that's that filter that's having you not experience that. So what does that look like? There are wonderful men out there, Michelle. Once you start believing that,
are they in Miami?
They're everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, because we have clients everywhere, right? We even have clients in Saudi Arabia and England and Ireland. Men are everywhere. Great men. And what you want to start doing, part of the work you can start doing this evening, those of you who are listening and watching, is really affirm not only that there are great men out there, but there are great men out there who want to love you. See, you're not with him right now because he hasn't found you yet. Sometimes it's hard for him to find you behind that wall of fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. He's like, I know she's in there somewhere, right? But yeah, really believe that there is an abundance of great men out there. Because we believe it, we attract a lot of men into our lives who are really looking for relationships. They really want. We had the experience of speaking to two of them this weekend at an event. They really do want to have loving, and it's so beautiful to hear them talk about what they want to create and how happy they want to make the woman they love feel. And so one of the things that you can start doing tonight is just affirming, not only are you worthy of being loved beyond your wildest dreams, but that there are already men who are looking to create that relationship of your dreams with you. So you're not going to have to go looking for them. You're not going to have to go chasing behind any man. You're not going to have to do any of that, because you're going to attract him into your life. He's looking for you already. That's the great news. He's already looking for you. So just make yourself known and allow yourself to do the work to kind of excavate all of that stuff that has been hardening your heart. Because you mentioned, Deborah, there's anger. Underneath the anger, all there is pain and fear. So I'll get angry to pretend like it doesn't matter to me, but I really, really want to love and be loved. And it's just our brain helping to protect us, keep us safe, and sometimes what's safe is the familiar. It's what we're experiencing right now.
Wonderful. Yes. See, don't you guys feel inspired when you hear? I go into the zone when I hear you guys talk because you guys relax me. So I'm like, ooh. Okay, I'm back. I'm getting coaching right here and right now for you and for me. One of the things that somebody had asked me earlier on Facebook was, should I do online dating? I haven't been successful at meeting anyone, in my busy life. Do you think that online dating is good for a busy person?
I do believe that online dating is good for anybody who wants to get out there. First of all, as you start doing the work, and a lot of this work is good, it's practicing, right? We were talking about earlier today the smiling. You're just practicing smiling at people, not just men, smiling at everybody. If I do this all the time, Gladys does this too. We'll walk into a coffee shop or we'll walk into a restaurant or a hotel, and people, women, beautiful women, are on their phones. And there's all these gorgeous guys passing by, and they're not noticing them because they're on their phone. So when you start doing this work and you start smiling and you start getting rid of some of those blocks, bricks, layers, barriers that are in the way, what starts to happen is you start, like Goddess was saying, you start to see things differently. So then all of a sudden you're out there experiencing life differently. And when it comes to online dating, one of the things that really makes a difference is getting clear, crystal clear. And we did some work at one of our workshops a couple of weeks ago on what it is that you want to experience in a relationship. Not how tall he's going to be, the color of his hair. I mean, none of that's going to matter at the end of the day. When you come home and you've had a bad day at work, the color of his hair is not going to make a difference. So when you come to online dating, you want to get crystal clear about what you want. And what we've noticed when we've read women's profiles, and is that there's this, I love long walks on the beach. When was the last time you walked on the beach? Like, really? So I don't know. I haven't walked on the beach in a long, long time, since July of last year. So I like, or the language is not clear, or you're talking about, oh, I love to travel, but you're not sharing that story about what you experienced in that last time that you traveled. Or you share about why this is your favorite book, but you don't talk about the lesson that you learned. So there's the experience that people sometimes have with online dating. I'm not saying that everybody out there is honest, because I don't think everybody out there is honest, but the clearer you are about what you want to experience and the way that you write your profile, the pictures that you put on your profile are extremely important as well. Then you start to attract a different kind of man, and you've got to read people's profiles too. One of the mistakes I made when I was dating is I didn't read somebody's profile, and ended up that this person had a drinking problem. But when I went back to the page, it actually said, when it said drinking, it said every day. He wasn't lying. I just didn't look at it. I didn't do my homework for myself. So online dating is a great way to, first of all, get your confidence up, because when you get it, as soon as you go on, you're going to get responses. It's also a way to practice sharing what it is you want to experience. People say, should I say I want a relationship? Yes, if that's what you want, say it. The guys who get scared by that are not the guys you want to be dating anyway.
Fuera, pa la calle.
Exactly. So if they get scared by, the word relationship, that's one less date you have to go on that's not going to be resulting in anything new. And then the other thing is practice dating. That's why we say go out with more than one guy at the same time. When I really started doing this work, and all the work that we do is based on our personal journeys, I started to do the work, and all of a sudden I started dating these amazing guys. Amazing guys. I was dating 5 guys at the same time. I never had to worry about what I was going to do. And then at some point I was like, I just want to stay home this week and just by myself, because I had grown to enjoy that time by myself. So yes, online dating is definitely something that's going to give you practice in dating. It's going to, you get to go out, somebody's treating you to, whether it's coffee or dinner, and then we have all these different, when we do our dating workshops, about, let him set the date. Especially those of us who are used to telling people, what to do. You can, if he asks you what you prefer to do, you can say what you prefer to do, but let him take the lead. It's allows yourself, or gives you the opportunity to be pleasantly surprised.
And then if they don't take the lead, then you know that it's not going to happen. But I think that it's a really eye-opening, because when I ended up getting married, before that I was dating a lot of people, but somehow when I came out of being married, this whole monogamy thing in my mind. So the first person that asked me out, I thought, okay, you're my boyfriend, you know, and I just clung to them, even knowing that it didn't work at work, and just, you know, I think it's really important for people to know, like you keep saying over and over, that there's an abundance of men. There's an abundance of men that want to date you out there, and to really be open to that, to smile. I was in an elevator today, and everybody was on the phone, and I was just like standing there, you know, just like, you know, wanting to talk to people, and everybody was like this. So, you know, it's like, okay, well, just connecting with people. So one of the other questions that we got was, you know, how do you deal, oh, they were saying, how do you deal with men that are intimidated by you? Whether, you know, there's a lot of successful women, you know, out there, and they feel that men are intimidated, so they want to hold back and talking about, you know, their accolades or even their education, because they feel that people will be intimidated, and they kind of may think that they need to dumb themselves down to be approachable.
Well, I have to say something, because there was a funny story of me and Michelle with the confidence. I don't know if I'm going to share this story, but you don't want to dumb down. You don't have to act like you're incapable. You don't have to act like you're not intelligent. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we teach in another one of our workshops, and actually we're doing a seminar on this in May called the Irresistible Woman Seminar. And one of the things that we teach is that you want to be confident, and confidence is different from arrogance. See, men, I love when Michelle says this. She says, you know, men are not scared of confident women. Men are scared of what, Michelle?
Scary women.
Exactly.
Wives with knives.
Right? They're intimidated by women who are being intimidating. They are very attracted to women who are confident. It's actually, in surveys that have been done, it's the #1 thing that attracts a man to a woman is her confidence. That's like the characteristic. The physical thing is her smile, which is why you gotta smile, right? Wear the lipstick so that your teeth stick to your lips, and you have to smile. But yeah,
always wear lip gloss. That's what I learned from Gladys and Michelle.
Exactly. The more lip gloss, the more you smile, because you don't want your lips sticking together, right? So you don't want to dumb down. You can be smart and not be proving it the entire date. You don't have to lead with your resume. Just be yourself. See, you have to be yourself, because he can't fall in love with you if you're not there. It's impossible for him to fall in love with you if you're not even on the date. You're in your head, you're fast forward 10 years, you're already in the wedding dress, and the guy's having steak, right? He's like, this is a really great steak, and you're like, our children are going to be beautiful. So you don't have to pretend that you're not successful, but you also don't want to lead with your resume. You want to lead with your radiance, not your resume.
Ooh, tweet that. Lead with your radiance, not your resume. Love that one.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, and to understand that we are not, one of the things that I loved from you, I think it was from one of the videos, is that men are not the enemy. You know, that they are really wanting to please us. And I think because of the issues with heartbreak, that the wound and the association with the whole gender can kind of create not just bitterness, but like a barbed wire over the heart that we may not even be aware that we have, that can be turning people off energetically when we don't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some saying that we have that says love can be coming at you at 100 miles an hour, but if you're not ready to receive it, you won't recognize it. So you have to be ready to receive it, and you don't, you know, men do really, I mean, they say it's the #1 thing. They've surveyed men, dozens of surveys have shown that men really just want to make us happy. That's what they want. They want to know that they had something to do with our happiness. And what we found in working with singles, girlfriends, wives, whatever the case may be, is that a lot of times we send those signals that we unwittingly send a signal called, I am never going to be satisfied. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just not going to be good enough. And we send that in very subtle ways sometimes. So what starts to happen is, because men are human and they have feelings too, and they don't want to experience rejection any more than women do, is they stop trying. And so we need to be open and receptive to receiving whatever those gifts may be, whether it's compliment, time, help. Gladys, what was it that you say? You know, you're carrying 10 things, you're trying to hold something with your foot, you have something on your head, and somebody says, "Do you need help?" You're like, "No, I got it."
Clearly you don't. Clearly you don't got it. You're falling apart, but you would rather pretend like you've got it all together than allow somebody the pleasure, because it really is a pleasure of just doing something for you. And a lot of women, especially powerful women, are afraid that if they were to receive that, right, if they were to receive that help, that it somehow threatens their capability and their independence and their, you know, how strong and powerful they are. It's not that. And, you know, actually, if you head on over to our blog right now and you go to heartsdesire.intl.com, I actually wrote a blog today on one of the 3 Ps, the 3 things that are most important to men. And today's was how a man wants to provide for the woman that he loves. The other 2 Ps, they want to provide for, they want to protect, and they want to please. And so today I focused on one because I think when we've been hurt, we tend to think that men, you know, like Michelle shared, men are cheaters, they're liars, they're selfish, they're not interested in having a relationship, they're commitment phobes, like whatever your belief is that is actually stopping you. And we might make light of it, but I want you to get, you know, sometimes we have to, and they call us the tough love twins sometimes. That belief is completely shutting down your chances of experiencing love. If you believe that men are bad, that they're out to get you, that they're the enemy, that there's some hidden agenda, you know, I said this Saturday at the workshop that we were speaking at, it's not like men wake up in the morning and go, "Oh my gosh, how can I make her life miserable today?" Like, that's not their mission, you know, especially not good men, right? Those are the type of guys you're attracting, then you need to get our program, because we need to shift that energy right away. But if you begin to believe that men are good and that good men are what you attract, you affirm that. Now, you've got to do the work to believe it, because if you say it and you don't believe it, you're confusing the universe, first of all. And second of all, the research has shown that if you believe something or you don't believe something, even if you are affirming it, you're saying it, you're writing it, you're journaling it, but in your mind you don't believe it, what wins is the belief. The belief always wins out over the thought, right? So you want to really begin affirming it to yourself in such a way that you begin to believe it, that you begin to see the evidence of it around you, even if it's small little bits of evidence around you. But if you have a misconception that men are the enemy, and that's how you navigate through life, it's going to be really painful, because you're going to continue finding the evidence to support that in your life.
It's so true. It just creates a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Absolutely.
I can't believe time is going by. Oh, I have like 25,000 more questions. Well, I just want to let everyone know, if you have a question, that you can ask it, and that these beautiful love twins are going to answer it throughout the entire month of February. So where should they put their questions, Gladys?
Okay, I think the best way to send us questions, and we have a couple of things that we want you guys to do tonight. We're going to be rewarding decisive action tonight. So one of the best ways to send us a question is when you go to our website, and I'll say it again slowly because I'm so used to it, I sometimes say it too quickly. And I've also put it in the chat box, and we can go ahead and also put it on the YouTube page. It's Hearts Desire, that's Hearts with an S, Desire, INTL.com. When you go onto that page, 2 things are going to pop up in your face. One is a box that tells you, go ahead and put your name and email address here, so that you can get an excerpt of our book, 30 Days and 30 Ways to Fall in Love with You, which Deborah was one of the heart messengers who contributed to the book. So that's the first thing. Do that first. Then down at the bottom, another little box is going to pop up that's going to ask you a really important question. Ready for love? And so you can actually send us a question through that little box. It gives you a place where you can write a comment to us, and we'll be happy to answer that. And then, of course, when you get the excerpt of our book, you're part of our email list, so you'll be getting the video blogs automatically anyway, plus we'll post them through social media. So the first thing you want to do is go to heartsdesire.intl.com and subscribe to the email list so you can get an excerpt of the book, and then send us your question when the Ready for Love box pops up. Now, one of the gifts we're giving you today is anyone who joins our email list, does exactly what I just said, and you put your name and your email address in the box to get an excerpt of the book, we're actually going to send you a copy of the book. So you're going to get the whole book, not an excerpt.
Books for everyone!
All right, so it's an ebook, and you'll get the entire thing digitally. You'll get the password to download it, so that's our gift to you today. And then we're also going to be doing a raffle where we are going to be raffling a $200 gift card or cash card that you can use towards any one of our programs or services in the future. Okay, so that is a big time gift that we will be raffling, and Deborah will figure out, we'll find a way through your email list and our email list to make sure that we let people know who the winner is. But that's going to happen. So we're going to be noticing anybody who joins our email list between right now, which is on the East Coast, it's 10 minutes to 10, okay, Eastern time, through midnight Pacific time. We'll give you guys on the West Coast a chance, right? So anybody who joins between those hours, we will go ahead and we will send you a copy of the book, and you will be entered into the raffle for the $200 cash card.
Ooh, thank you so much. That is awesome. And what about the awesome program that I'm doing? Because I know I've been talking to people about it when I've been hiking. They're like, "Where can I get it? I want to do that." It's wonderful.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving us a chance to we're also doing something very special. See, when you take the time to join these types of chats, and it shows us that you're committed, that you're willing to do something. You're willing to log on and listen to an interview. So we really do reward women's commitment to themselves, because if you're not committed to yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to commit to a man, right? So one of the things we want to offer you tonight is an opportunity to purchase our Ready to Love Again home study program, which is a set of 6 CDs and a workbook, which is the book that Deborah referred to before, because we talk you through all the exercises, but then you also have a workbook to do the work, and you can make photocopies and do the work as often as you want. But this program is our signature program. It is the first step for anybody who works with us to do. And in it, what we walk you through is releasing the beliefs, the fears, the doubts, those hidden blocks that are stopping you from attracting love into your life. And we walk you through a process that has it go from back here where you don't even know that it's there. It might be a little while, but then we can support it and use it to your advantage so you can like love. And many times what we do is we see it and then we just dismantle it. We just break that sucker apart because the fear is not real anyway. But you got to do the course to learn that. So the other thing we do in the program is we help you develop and embrace a new mindset. You've been hearing a lot about the shift that has to take place in your thoughts. Just saying, I'm going to start believing that men are good is not the depth of the work that really creates a shift in your mind, where, and Michelle calls it a heart shift as well. So you're shifting your mindset, you're shifting your heart set at the same time, so that you can create new beliefs that actually call you into new ways of being, which have you attract the love that your heart desires. And finally, the last part of the program, which Deborah hasn't gotten there yet, so I don't want to give away too many surprises, but that's where you actually step into becoming the extraordinary, alluring, magnetic, irresistible
I haven't
woman.
got there yet? Oh, my God, I'm going to get to work. Oh, my God.
Right? So you become the irresistible woman, the absolutely irresistible woman that you were created to be. And so it's 6 CDs. It's a workbook with all of the exercises. Each of the sessions, each of the 6 sessions has one area of focus and one or more activities exercises that you'll be going through, and it's all inner work, and there is some journaling work involved as well. Now, because we love to give gifts and we're twins, so we get to do double, all the gift giving we want. For the first 10 people who purchase this program tonight, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in just a moment, the first 10 people, in addition to being in the raffle for the $200 cash card, in addition to getting your book, because you'll get those things too when you register for the program, you're going to get an additional $100 cash card, which means you have the potential tonight to save $300 on any one of your future purchases of any of our programs and any of our coaching and any of our services that you want, and live events as well. So you have the potential tonight to really get $300. And why do we do this? Because we're committed. We are committed to providing you with every opportunity that we can for you to actually create, attract, and experience the love that your heart desires. We are not kidding when we say this is our life's mission. So let me tell you how to get it, right? Let me tell you how you can get all of these wonderful gifts. But first I'm going to tell you this program is not for you, or it is for you if you are really ready today to begin creating a new future that's not determined by your past. If you're committed to transforming your love life into one that excites and fulfills you, and if you're open to implementing the coaching and the support that you'll receive. It is not for you, and we're going to be 100% honest, tough love twins. If you're more committed to staying stuck in the past or in a dead-end relationship that's not going anywhere than you are to moving forward, this would not be the program for you. If you're unwilling to participate fully in doing the exercises and receiving the coaching that comes to the program, and if you're not ready for love and happiness right now, those would be the only reasons why you wouldn't want to get this. So let's talk about how you can do this. Normally, this program goes for $600. It retails for $600. If you go on our website and you go to the Ready to Love Again page, you will see that it's a $600 program. But it's our month because it's the month of love, and we love Deborah, and she asked us to do something special for you, and we want to do something special for you. So if you register your program, only $150. That's in addition, as I said, the first 10 people are going to get your $100 cash card that you can use for a future purchase, and we're even offering a 2-payment plan. If the $350 is too much for you right now, then you have an option to divide that into 2 payments. So we're making it really easy for you to step up and to really step into a whole new future, a future filled with extraordinary love like you've never known before. And all you have to do, and I'm going to say this slowly and then I'll actually type it into the chat, is go to heartsdesire.com/ready-to-love-again/TT for Transformational Tuesday. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. It's www.heartsdesire.com/ready-to-love-again/TT. That's all you have to do. And like I said, just for the group of people watching this video, this hangout, I'm sorry, $350. You get your $100 cash card if you're one of the first 10. I think we already have a few orders coming in. I don't want to look because I want to be present with you. And you can split that up into 2 easy payments of $180 each. Plus you get your $100 cash card if you're one of the first 10, plus the other 2 gifts that we're giving you for joining our email list tonight. So the deadline for this, however, we want to make it, we want you to take decisive action, and we want you to really not put this on the side, because you've been putting your happiness and your love on the side for way too long. The deadline for this is Thursday, February the 5th at midnight Eastern time. Okay? So don't wait. If you already know that you want to do this. There's that little hot feeling around your heart. There's a little bit of excitement. Don't confuse excitement for nervousness. You know you want to do this program. We believe in you. We want you to have the experience that we have had of knowing that you know that you're loved and that you can have love again. Okay, we want that for you more than anything in the world else in the world. That's what gives us life, is to know that we contributed to somebody's happiness. And again, just go to heartsdesireintl.com/ready-to-love-again/TT, and you will be in the program. We'll ship that over to you right away and send you your gifts.
And I want to thank you so much for that, because everybody that knows me knows I wouldn't endorse or recommend anything that I didn't believe in and anything that I didn't use. And I just, I'm only on week 4 of the 6-week program, and just in that time, the shift that has happened within me and outside of me, I just feel so much more like the heaviness on my heart that was weighing down has been expanded, more confident, and more open. I really do. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for you for making this available for all of them. So there literally is no excuses to be ready to love again. So like she mentioned, you go to her website, and I will have those links up on my Facebook and Google Plus and YouTube. So not to worry, that it will be there. And like they said, make sure you take advantage of asking the questions, because wouldn't it be awesome to see the blog answer throughout the month? And in May, I guess we'll just have to go to Miami. It's in Miami, your conference in May?
Yeah,
No,
it's gonna
I hate it. Now you always make me go to Miami.
it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be hundreds of women in the same place, committed to their love life and becoming the absolutely irresistible woman. So, definitely you want to do this program so that when you get to Miami, you are ready for love. And any way that we can be of service, you already know how to contact us through our website. Please know that Michelle and I, we may not know you, but because we know that our hearts have an immense capacity to love, we already love you, and we will do anything that we can to support you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you, Michelle.
You're so welcome.
And thank you all for tuning in. I know it's a weekday and there's a lot of things you could be doing, but you took time for yourself. And Transformational Tuesday is a vision that I had last year, that the first Tuesday of every month, I would bring you not just a teleseminar like we did last month, but a real live interactive, look me in the eye, see my face, and that I could bring to you all of the wonderful coaches and experts that have really, I know that this was very informative for you, and I look forward to hearing your tweets and Facebooks on how much you loved it and what you would like to hear for future. If you're not already subscribed, I also have a gift. Everybody's got a gift. When you go to my website, deborahdarris.com, I'm actually giving away a track from my new CD called Meditation for Success. So I have that to give away for you. So when you put your name and email, if you're not already on there, you will get it. Or if you are already on there for a book, put another email, and it'll instantly download to you. And please stay in touch with me. Let me know what topics are of interest to you, because I am here to help you to create abundance in all areas of your life. And I know that this session tonight will open you to love. So I just want to say I love you both. I love you out there. And I can't wait to hear the success stories. And by the way, I do your wedding. I do weddings. So once you're ready for love, I can unite you officially on the books. So,
Thank you so much for the invitation, Deborah. We love you.
My client pleasure. Oh, we love you too. Love you too. So you take care, everybody. Bye. Oh, by the way, this video is going to be on YouTube, so you can share this with your friends. So if you thought this was beneficial, definitely share it. Go to my YouTube channel, deborahdarrislive.com. See ya. Ciao. Good night.